Hi, this is Craig Severance from the Zero Energy Channel. Come join us as we work to address the challenge of moving toward a world with zero energy from fossil fuels.
Well, this is Craig Severance, and we're looking at a program that is free that's going to really help you with your finalizing your designs for your tiny house or any other construction project. It's a free program from Google called Google Sketchup. It comes with a 30-day trial to pro, but that's expired for us now, and we're just using the basic Sketchup. And my comment on this is that this is a brand new computer program for most people, unless you've already had CAD in college or something, where which my son had, so this was easier for him to learn than me. I haven't learned all of it, and you do, as a layperson working on your own project, I would say you don't have to learn all of it. You probably going to do what I did and just learn what you have to do to draw up what you want to do. Another comment I'm going to have here is that I don't think I'm going to finish all the drawing and putting on all the details in this. Wanted to make sure we had the framing plan, and this is really good with that, to try to make sure everything fits together right and go as far as you want with this. This video is just going to show some of the buttons in Google SketchUp and what do they do, because it's when you first sit down with a new computer program, especially this one, it looks like you're sitting down at the controls of an alien spaceship. None of the buttons are familiar. It looks like, oh my gosh, it's pretty intimidating. So we go through some of the few things here that we use pretty regularly on our model, and hopefully that will spend maybe 5-10 minutes at this and give you a feel for how some of these things work, and then you can feel less intimidated perhaps and start taking the videos from the SketchUp program and learn more about it and play with things on your own. So start here. You see I have the hand, which they call the pan tool, open, and what that does, it will move things around without changing its angle, its view. And that you're going to use that all the time, especially when you want to move something into the center. If you want to use the zoom tool, here's the basic zoom tool. You go up to zoom in, and like I say, if it's in the center, you'll get right where you want. It's going to, and then down to zoom back out. Let's say you won't want to play around with the hand and the zoom tool to get exactly where you want to zoom in on. My son Eric just showed me this. This is a zoom window tool. Let's say we want to zoom in on this detail of this corner. We can go over here like this, and boom, we've got a zoomed in window that took a lot less time to get to. Another thing you can use a lot to get around in the program, especially if you get lost really close to something and you don't really know where you are, is this zoom extents, and boom, you're back out to the extents of the model. One of the things that we use extensively, and I pretty much did this myself and I thought it was a good idea, we have kind of a lumberer yard here. You can see over on the left lots of different pieces of lumber in different configurations that are pointing in different directions already, and that I like keeping them that way because then you can just make a copy of one that's already pointed the right way and boom it over to your model. So each of these is, by the way, a group. It's a group of dimensions, and we'll let Google SketchUp videos teach you how to make a group of dimensions, but you can pretty much start with one that's a box and change the dimensions and get flat or nearly flat sheets of plywood. You have 2x6s, change the dimensions, and you got 2x4s and so forth. As long as you're dealing with dimension lumber, you make one group that's a box type shape, and you can change the dimensions to get just about anything you want. And then like I say, you can rotate it and make copies to keep them over here as you've got ready to go. Let's say I wanted to add a board here, and the select tool is the arrow, of course, and you can select it. And I want to keep that over in Lumberyard. I just then I go over to the move tool, which of course can move it around. I'm going to escape out of that because it can also, with the move tool, I have to select it again. You can hold down your control key with the move tool and make a copy. It's exactly the same. And that's a nice way to get one you can work with then. And let's say I wanted to put that's pointing to be a stud on this wall, for instance. Well, this orbit tool can then orbit around to the right perspective. And I'll zoom in using the basic zoom tool. And let's say I wanted to put that stud right there. And there's a nice way to do this. You can that my son showed me again. You can hit the move tool, and as long as you can see the corner that we're doing, you could put that on the corner and say I wanted to put it right up against there, and it'll know that it hit that line, and boom, it's there. And then when you're done with it, you want to deselect it by hitting the select key, and then we usually just hit somewhere out in space and it's off. Say I didn't want to really do that, which I'm not wanting to do, I'm just using an example. You can then go here and you can go undo in the edit, undo. I'll even undo the copy because I don't really need that. So there, that was an example of using the select, the move, and the corner, grabbing the corner, and it'll very, very useful there. So another tool that you're going to use all the time, we'll rotate over here. Orbit, I guess, is the correct term. And we will, you're going to want to take measurements. Let's say we'll want to know here, it looks like a tape measure. You can go here and place it there, and it'll tell you down in the lower, right here on the screen, and also in the lower left, how long that is. And when you let go of the tape measure tool, it's going to set, most likely it's going to set like what's called a guide point there. And I didn't really want to do that, so I'm going to undo the guide. I just was taking a measure. But a lot of times you do want to do that because then you can use your move tool and move it to a guide point, and it'll know that guide point's there. So you can use an erase tool. I don't want to do that anywhere on my model, so I'll simply erase one of my duplicate pieces of lumber over here. And just erase this duplicate over here. And a lot of times you'll have guide points or whatever, and you dash lines, and you have to go around and erase some things. And so that's a powerful tool, but of course also if you mess up, you can undo the erase. So that keeps you out of trouble. So another tool that you could use is, like I said that these boards are already pointing the right direction. Let's say I had one that I wanted to change the direction. I would select it, place it like that. Let's use the zoom window and get a little bigger here. Zoom in on that. Deselect that. Zoom in, and we're going to look at this. Let's say we want to change the direction of this. We'll select it and use the move tool. And the nice thing with the move tool is you'll see that it has these plus, when the red X's show up, you can if you get the right perspective, the rotation tool will show up and you can change it, and the degree you're changing it will be down in the lower left hand corner. And we've made that one horizontal now to 0 angle. Let go, and there you go. Now let's say I wanted to place that board and it's too long, and somewhere I need it to be a different dimension. This is one of your less intuitive things, but once you get the hang of it, you really get it. We're going to deselect that first so I can measure it. And we'll say how long it actually is. You have to know how long it already is to change the length, because the push-pull tool, let's say it's 6 foot 1 inches. I need it to be, say, 6 feet. Make a simple example. We'll bring it around where we can see the end and use the zoom window tool to zoom in on that. Now we want to change the length of this. We have found out it's 6 foot 1. We're going to select it. It's a group of dimensions. We want to change one of the dimensions, so we have to edit the group here by right-clicking on it after you've selected it. And if you're bigger in the model, you'll see that everything else in the model grays out, and this is the only thing that's really got colors, and so focus on this thing. So let's say we want to make that end shorter. We use the push-pull tool, and you want to make it 1 inch, in this example, less. So we push it, and usually you have to type, you go backspace, and you type in, I'm going to say 1 inch less. And then you want to hit the select button. And now, let me zoom out. We'll see that that board now, using the tape measure tool, is now equal to 6 feet. If I had wanted to make it longer, then of course I would have pulled it, and I probably would have typed in whatever extra dimension I wanted to do that with. Those are some of the basic tools. It's a hopefully a nice introduction to Google SketchUp, so you can see that it's really not all as intimidating. It looks at first, and you can watch this 5 minutes and feel a lot more comfortable about maybe listening to the 5 hours of Google SketchUp videos. But this gets you started with knowing that if I can handle it, somebody who's never had CAD or any kind of graphics program, I know that you can learn it too. And it'd be very helpful for your project to use Google SketchUp. So play around with it. There's lots of tools in here that I've never even used. And we're already at this point, as you can see, with our model. So very helpful.
Hello, my name is Eric. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up down below. Also, if you want to subscribe, that's good too. Join us on the Zero Energy channel.